The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Elena Vasquez stood before the assembled representatives of 47 species. The question hung in the air like a weapon itself, delivered by the Zephyrian High Inquisitor with the cold precision his kind was known for. Human, the crystalline being repeated, its voice resonating through multiple frequencies. We have catalogued the fears of every species in this galaxy. The Karathi fear the Void Eaters, the Melons fear the Quantum Scramblers. Even we Zephyrians fear the reality benders of the Outer Rim. Yet when we scan your species' collective consciousness, we find confusion. Tell us plainly, what weapon do humans fear most? Elena looked around the circular chamber, noting how the various alien representatives leaned forward with interest. Some, like the insectoid hive speakers, clicked their mandibles in anticipation. Others, like the gaseous Nephilim, swirled their forms more rapidly, a sign of excitement among their kind. The question wasn't unexpected. Humanity had been the newest addition to the Galactic Council, having achieved faster-than-light travel only 50 years prior. In that short time, they had earned a reputation that both fascinated and concerned the older civilizations. Humans were different. Where other species had developed in isolation until achieving galactic contact, humans had spent millennia fighting each other. Their history was written in blood, their greatest works born from conflict. Yet paradoxically, they were also capable of unprecedented cooperation and sacrifice for strangers. The galaxy had never encountered anything quite like them. Elena smiled, an expression that many species found both endearing and slightly unsettling. "Honored Council," she began, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustics. "The answer is both simple and perhaps impossible for you to understand. We fear no weapon." A ripple of confusion passed through the assembly. The hive speakers' clicking grew more agitated, while several of the aquatic Dominion representatives released distressed bioluminescent patterns. "Impossible," declared the Karathi war chief, his 6 arms gesturing dismissively. "Every species fears something. The universe is filled with horrors that can unmake flesh, reality, even consciousness itself. Your species has fought wars across star systems. Surely you understand the terror of annihilation?" Elena nodded respectfully. "We understand annihilation, War Chief Vorthak. Humanity has faced it many times. We've stared down nuclear extinction, cosmic disasters, plagues that could wipe out billions. We've even faced weapons that could erase us from existence itself. But fear them? No." The Melian trade representative's tentacles curled inward, a sign of deep confusion among her people. "Then what? We fear losing each other," Elena said simply. The chamber erupted in chaos. Representatives clicked, chittered, hummed, and vocalized their disbelief in dozens of languages. The Zephyrian High Inquisitor had to pulse a harmonic frequency to restore order. "Explain," he commanded. Elena walked to the center of the chamber, her movements deliberate and calm. 300 years ago, humanity faced its first extinction-level threat, a nuclear exchange that could have ended our civilization. Do you know what stopped it? Not fear of the weapons, not fear of death. It was a single transmission from a child in one of the targeted cities, asking if her grandmother in another country would be okay. She paused, letting the translation systems catch up across the various species. The generals, the politicians, the leaders on both sides, they heard that transmission. And in that moment, they realized that using those weapons meant not just ending lives, but ending connections, ending love, ending the bonds that make us who we are. The aquatic Dominion representative pulsed a soft blue, curiosity among her kind. "But surely against extinction-level threats." 200 years later, Elena continued, "we faced the Void Plague, a cosmic virus that consumed biological matter at the molecular level. Our scientists calculated we had perhaps days before it reached Earth. We had weapons that could crack planets, technologies that could fold space itself. Instead, we chose to evacuate." "Cowardice," growled the Karathi war chief. Elena's smile didn't waver. "We evacuated everyone. Every human, every pet, every plant we could save. 72 billion souls relocated to ships barely designed for a fraction of that number. We spent 3 years in space, sharing recycled air and rationed water while our greatest minds worked on a cure. Not a weapon to fight the plague, but a cure to heal what it had damaged." The hive speakers had gone completely silent, unprecedented for their kind. "We lost our homeworld for 30 years, but we didn't lose each other. And when we returned, when we restored Earth with the cure we'd developed, we brought with us something stronger than any weapon, the absolute knowledge that no force in the universe could make us abandon one another. The Zephyrian High Inquisitor's form flickered through several color spectrums, deep processing among his people. This is irrational. Weapons are tools of preservation. They protect what you value. No, Elena replied gently. Weapons are tools of separation. They create distance between threat and threatened. But humanity learned long ago that our greatest strength isn't our ability to destroy. It's our refusal to be separated from each other. No matter the cost, she gestured to the viewing portal, where the blue-green dot of Earth hung in space, surrounded by the massive defensive platforms and city ships of the human fleet. You see our military might and think it's for conquest or protection. But every ship, every station, every weapon system has one purpose: to ensure that no human is ever alone, that no one is ever abandoned, that no matter how far we spread across the galaxy, we remain connected. The Melian representative's tentacles had gone completely still. But what if faced with a choice? Your species or others? Elena's expression grew sad. That's the question that truly terrifies other species about us, isn't it? Because you know the answer. Humanity doesn't choose between people. We choose to save everyone, even if it's impossible. Even if it means sacrificing ourselves. The chamber had grown utterly quiet. Even the Nephilim had ceased their constant motion. 50 years ago, when the Outer Rim colonies faced extinction from the reality benders, who came? When the Karathi homeworld was threatened by the Void Eaters, who stood with you? When the Zephyrian collective consciousness was attacked by psychic parasites, who shared the mental burden? Elena's voice carried no pride, only simple truth. We did, not because we feared your weapons turned against us if we didn't help, but because losing any of you would diminish all of us. The High Inquisitor's form had gone completely transparent, the deepest form of contemplation for his kind. You are saying that your greatest fear is being alone? Our greatest fear, Elena corrected softly, is that someone else might be alone, that someone, somewhere, might face the darkness without knowing they're loved, without knowing they matter, without knowing that someone will come for them no matter the cost. She looked around the chamber at faces both familiar and alien, each representing civilizations with their own fears, their own desperate hopes for survival. That's why you'll never truly understand humanity's place in this galaxy until you understand this. We're not here to conquer or to defend. We're here to make sure that no one, human or alien, ever has to face the universe alone again. The silence that followed was not uncomfortable, but profound. In that moment, 47 species began to understand why humanity was so unlike anything they had encountered before. And perhaps for the first time in galactic history, they began to understand what it truly meant to be fearless.